And the fact that he's stepping up against people like Bin, who have been absolutely stellar over the course of his career in LPL. The only ever World's Finals pentakill for that man in the top lane for RNG, and Wayward's like, nah bro, watch me. This is incredible to see. But already we're seeing the draft differences coming through. The Ziggs picked up for Jackie Love. They're bringing in some wacky stuff.
I just love that you think Wayward is a teenager from London. Nah, bruv.
Nah, bruv.
It's going to be a Ziggs coming out for, I assume, Jackie Love. Maybe it's a mid-lane Ziggs. We'll have to wait and see. Xiaohu going with the Vex, and this is a quick draft coming out from RNG.
This is now where we're going to see these two teams butt heads, because you've got early aggression for RNG. It can be matched with the Lee Sin for TN. He said that he could play both sides of the matchup. Looks like we're about to find out, but don't forget, Wei set the record with 17 kills on this Viego in playoffs only just a little while ago. You're looking at Xiaohu, the best Vex, arguably in the lead, where Knight is trying to contest him now. And we've got this Lee Sin for TN. He has the skin on this champion. The guy is going to be trying to pop off early here.
Yep, TN, one of the only players in the LPL to play his own skin as well. Karsa being the only other player that's been willing to play TN's Lee Sin skin. It's Rakan, banned away from Ming, especially with this Xayah there. And with how well Ming has been playing across the series, I understand the respect.
Yeah, and I think you'll probably ban the Nautilus as well, right? Try and get rid of these things that are just really annoying for the Leona to play against. Maybe we end up seeing something like the Renata then come out for RNG in this bottom lane, just because, you know, the Ziggs will try and contest the push, but, I mean, the Ziggs can kind of hurt it quite a bit for the Renata, so we'll have to see. RNG, though, getting rid of the Syndra, might see something like the Orianna ban as well here towards Knight in that mid lane. Just try and make sure that Knight isn't able to get his hands on some of his clutch performers.
See is the, as you say, that Syndra, such a signature for Knight, but will be denied. I don't want to. I don't want to say it too loud. I'll anger a lot of fans by saying that. But the Camille respected from Bin, and that does mean we will not get Bin's Camille across the whole place.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we won't get it, but now I'm starting to wonder, right? Because you've got like the Ziggs in the bot side. Do we end up seeing Knight trying to take some sort of AD mid laner here? Because you have the opportunity, right? You got a ton of AP damage from the bot side. Don't necessarily means that you need to try and go for the AD mid laner, but Jace banned away here. We'll have to see what the game plan is.
There
you go!
It happens. We get the Zoe from Knight, an absolute signature for the man. He's unbelievably good at finding those plays, and alongside Elise Sin, you have so much proactivity.
Yeah, and this is why I really think that there's going to be a ton of action around this mid-jungle. Both teams fighting to get control there. But we'll have to see what Bin is going to take blind into that top lane. The Nautilus for Ming makes a ton of sense. Most played, great into the Leona. But Bin, do you go back towards something like the Graves? Do you try and go for Gnar and leave yourself open for another Wayward counter pick here?
I mean, regardless of what you pick up here, it's going to be a counter pick for Wayward. And I love the transition for top esports, right? Now relying on Wayward, trying to set this rookie up in the top side bin. This would be a classic for him. This would be a comfort pick. This would be something he's fallen back on in the past.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's strange to see the Jax blind, though. Usually, like, an answer to something like the Camille in the top lane. Something where he can have a bit of an alright time, but picking up blind when the Camille is already banned, we'll have to see what Wayward has in the tank to try and go against this. On it. Alright, well, yeah, might just go back towards the Ken and go, hey, we're looking for team fights, but that is a lot of AP damage in top esports.
I feel like you need an AD top laner here, and I just love that they're already hovering the split second it goes over to the other side. This, as you say, though, a lot of magic damage if they were to commit to it. And it looks like it might not be an aggressive counter pick. It might not be Wayward trying to carry here, and instead trying to be the setup for the rest of the team.
Yeah, and it feels like this is kind of where Bin has gone, right, you have to go for some sort of AD top laner, something that can deal damage. So I know that I'm going to have a decent matchup with the Jack. So I think Bin doing just a smart play here, kind of calling what are the available options for top esports. And now we'll have to see if we can have... this is going to be brutal. Like, both teams have a ton of opportunities to try and play through, like, the mid lane super well, ability to play through the top side of the map super well. It just feels like this is going to be brawls.
I hope you're right. I really hope you're right. But for RNG fans at home as well, that's a scary sentence, because that is where top esports have found their victories. The early brawling, it feels like, to me at least, always seems to favor top esports.
But this is the thing. They're kind of taking this as a different path from what we've seen before, right? Because even when we saw this top esports series just a few weeks, or even 2 weeks ago, the biggest thing was looking at we're playing around bot side for RNG. We're setting up around Gala, and now we've got Knight on the rise who's turning that around. TN is in position to turn around bot side plays. This is not a bot lane focused draft. This is a draft that wants to allow Bin and enable Bin in the side lane to be a big carry. Come into these fights then and take over. This is a top lane focused draft. This is a draft that looks more like we'd see from 2021 RNG than we'd see from 2022 playoffs RNG.
And conversely, I feel like for the side of top esports, this is a draft that wants to play around taking towers, right? This is all about Jackalove sitting in that bottom lane, getting plates. Herald comes down, tower gone. Swap him up to the top side. Same again, rinse and repeat. We'll see if they can get that ball rolling. I'm not going to lie, the percentages don't look good. All negative percentages for top esports, but I don't care about what those percentages say. It's going to be way more about how the execution comes down. But Dagda, we're headed into game number 5 of our finals. RNG were 2-0 up, but we're looking at a potential reverse sweep if top esports can just dot the I's and cross the T's.
Top esports don't care about your percentages. Mojo Jojo beside me does not care about your percentages. This is all about execution, and so far game 3 and 4 top esports have outperformed RNG. Now with the reverse sweep on the cards, can they keep that going?
And we have to talk junglers once more, Dagda. We have to bring it back to Tien versus Wei. Two players that have been criticised, and it has to be said, these last couple of games, Wei has been having a rough time of it.
And it's a case of like Tien getting in his face and making things really tough for him. And we got to go back to that quote from Tien. Right? Tien said, hey, look, you know what? My Lee Sin can beat my Viego. My Viego can beat my Lee Sin. And now he's on the opposite side of this matchup. And here's the thing. I've seen him play this matchup before, and he has decimated people like Kanavi in this matchup. So now we'll have to see if he can do the same. Good, nice job from Knight here, though, denying access from Xiaohu to spot where Tien was going to start.
I love this from Knight as well. Going for the extended trade because he knows Xiaohu has longer cooldowns than he does, so he can get an extra paddle star there. Just going to be trading corrupting pot health for the time being, as Wei would have been begin as they mean to go on in this top side. It's been one of the most volatile top lanes we could have hoped for in a final. I want to talk overall game plan though here, especially for the side of RNG. How do they make sure that top esports don't find an early lead and don't snowball like they did last game?
I feel like a lot of this is actually going to be Wei trying to play towards Xiaohu in the early stages. Like, you will get push here with Knight in the early game, but if Wei can try and get into affect that lane, maybe burn a flash into Knight, then you can unlock Xiaohu and start to have a bit more control. Has actually been...
Oh, we've seen this before from Wayward. He's on the wrong side, but manages to find level 2. Will mean he should have Hop available. Gets to the other side of the play. Might have to flash for this one. Not quite. And again, I respect the confidence. Drops the Sadamumu. Doesn't flash in the play. That was dicey at best.
Look at the pathing here from Wei, though. He's cleared out his bot side. He's now wrapping back up onto this top side. So this could actually be a point where we look for a potential dive onto this top lane, especially with how low Wayward is. He's going to need to get that quick reset.
He certainly is. This Jacket of a Mark going to be just trying to clear the wave, trying to set up for potentially Tien, who's on that bottom side of the map. Could be opposite plays from our two junglers. As you can see, Wei, as you said, on the top side. Tien moving towards this bottom lane. Remember, Gala and Ming are kind of pushed up. Love the replay. Very insightful. Nocturnal, that was.
Yeah, just before the game started.
Yeah.
That's This is what it looks like before Summoner's Rift, you know.
Looks like Tien not actually necessarily looking for the play, just looking to deny any potential play from RNG.
Wei moving up to this top side, though. Still, Wayward has healed up a good amount, so I think it would just be a case of like trying to steal away maybe the Krugs, but I don't think he realizes he's sitting on a ward, so this is going to be risky.
Wayward is exhausted currently in Mini Gnar, but that's going to be all she wrote. Didn't have the minions to make it happen, and Wei just has to back off. A lot of time used by Wei up in that top side.
Yeah, and especially when you want to try and like outpace the Lee Sin in this early matchup, so then you can get the reset, move into the jungle, the enemy jungle, and try and contest Tien on his next set of camps.
Speaking of Tien,
he's
gone all the way around. He's dodged the ward. RNG haven't got a clue. It's happening as Gala in trouble here. Cleanse used, knock back, ignite burning, but Tien arrives on the play, and he'll find a kill onto Gala. First blood and redemption for Tien.
And this is top esports once more, stepping with their right foot forward, making sure that they can take over in these early stages. Wei, though, still hovering around topside, still spotted on this ward, and Bin still wants to go for it.
He wants to, but he won't find the chance, and he's actually out of mana on this one as well, so Wayward can stick around. Wei is there as Knight toys with the idea of moving up, but pings go out. Everybody knows what's up. Wayward about to turn Mega Gnar here. Bin has to be cautious. The flash roll from Way, the flash from Bin. It's beautifully coordinated. RNG answer.
Wayward tried so hard to keep himself in position on that top side, but just one step too far forward, and Way gets that flash, and now we'll get the collapse of that wave as well. But Tien maybe looking for more. We'll back off though.
Yeah, not going to go for it in the end here. The hop used just for CSing. Knight almost getting a solo kill in the mid lane as well. Xiaohu gets out with his life, but had Knight had just a little more mana, I think that could have been a kill. I love how tense this already is in Game 5.
Yeah, we're going to get a replay here of this bottom side play. Really nice job from Tien. Realized Viego was still on the top side, so he's like, well, that means I've got extra time here that I can burn to make this play happen on bot, especially with Gala and Ming not quite able to get that wave shoved in. It will end up costing Tien, though, because he's about 8 CS behind with 2 camps going the way of this Viego, and that's why Wei was still on the top side to make this nice play happen up here.
Nicely done here by Way to answer the play on the top side, and it means we're dead even in gold as Ming wants to make a gank happen in the mid lane. Was no fear there. Is the Rocket Bell going to be used? Now the Pharaoh tonight, he manages to get out, gets a bubble, gets an answer. Tien is here, the CC coming through from Mark. Do they have the damage? The answer is yes, and an Everfrost comes out as well. Out from one of the minions there, Zoe Spell Thief coming up trumps.
Somehow Knight managed to flash that before the hook could come through from Ming, and means that you just don't have the damage to take down Knight. And now Xiaohu caught out as well.
Another bubble from Knight. Can he find the paddle star? Not going to try to, as Tian goes for the invade instead. Dragon is up on the map right now as Wayward getting big damage onto Bin.
RNG are feeling the heat though. Top Esports, that pressure, that momentum that we talked about is going to continue its way topside.
Now Wayward is in mini Gnar right now. This isn't ideal, but Mark still wants to go for the dive here. He's happy to be the one tanking the tower. Tien misses the Sonic Wave. Not ideal here. Bin buying a lot of time for himself, but how much time can he really buy? It's a plate taken. Knight's here too. Wayward almost goes down, but it's all she wrote for Bin. I mean, he did his very best.
It looked well for the 2v1. It looked all right for the 1v3. But when it gets to 1v4, Bin's like, here, lads, come on. And that's now Dragon, though, traded here for RNG. They will get that on the bottom side. Turplate's traded as well, so it's still kind of going tit for tat here, but with the kill and a little bit more for top in that top side.
And crucially, Knight getting the kill. He's on his signature, Zoe. He's got 3 stacks on his Dark Seal already with that kill now in pocket. This is an opportunity for the mid-jungle.
And that's the thing. We talked about the mid-jungle being the focus of this game, and it's firmly in favor of Top Esports. They've been playing super well around mid. You've had Tien being able to turn around that play from Ming towards the mid lane as well. It feels like everything RNG are up to in this early game is being read by Top Esports.
And once again, we talked about it before, how Knight has always been so close to being like the big LPL mid laner. He's always hyped up. He's always so close to performing. And it always falls just a little bit short historically. Well, today, he's in game number 5. He's on his Zoe. He's got a couple of Dark Seal stacks already. It feels like this is his moment to prove himself.
And that's the thing. Although he does well domestically, when he gets that international stage, that's where he falls short. The opportunity now for Knight to go to MSI. The opportunity for him to show what we saw at MSC that year where he popped the hell off, but not any further, as Tien barely misses that Sonic Wave onto Bin.
All right. Herald is going to be the play for Top Esports. Tien starting this one off. Dagda, talk to me about positioning here, because Gala's moving over. Jackie Love making his way up from the base. In fact, he's going to TP to the mid lane here. We could have a 5v5.
This is going to be risky, though, because honestly, Gala strong at the moment. Xiaohu can get multi-man spheres off, and Bin is the only one that's kind of a bit lackluster at the moment. Is Ming.
Oh, that's a great hook. It's on to Knight here. His health bar is low, surviving for the time being. Looking for damage onto Xiaohu, but he falls. It's going to be Herald taken by Top Esports. They need to retreat. 1 for 1, though. Actually, maybe they don't. Looking for more. Mark low on HP. In the rest of them go. Xiaohu, 1 HP. Jagulov, one auto finishes the kill. Wayward with a great Gnar ulti as well. The feathers come in from Gala as Wayward tries to escape. Finds another kill on the back of the play. Top Esports, they get the Herald and they go even.
That was such an insane turnaround, with Xiaohu just going that bit too far forward. Ming getting a house to the face. And now Gala still needs to be careful. Jackie Love will have a good amount of damage if you try to push past here, but not going to be able to connect with that spell. But you're seeing the replay here. This is actually a great fight for RNG. Ming's hooks, man, on this Nautilus are absolutely insane. Curves it again onto Knight, but Xiaohu taken out of the equation. No ability to follow up on that means Knight gets a bit more damage down. Xiaohu's out of the fight. And even when Bin shows up here, right, again, you're getting these kills, but Xiaohu and Ming too close to going down. Wayward manages to hop over the feathers here as well from Gala, so he stays up. I mean, that was just greedy from Ming at the end.
Yeah. And I wanted to compliment Ming after that hook at the start of the fight. I wanted to be, you know, Ming has been so consistent this entire series that finishes the play just get bonked.
Ming has been so consistent with the inconsistency of Nautilus Hook. Like, it's, the fact that he can find these like curves all the time with this hook is absolutely insane. But we do have to come back into what the focus is. Early game aggression from top esports. The Rift Herald is in the pocket of TN. Push in mid, and you've even got Mark starting to roam towards this mid lane as well.
And remember that this combo with the Herald and the Ziggs is incredibly powerful. You can go at a tower that has 5 plates and basically instantly destroy it with Ziggs passive, a couple of auto attacks. You take the first plate, then you finish things off. Gala gets a ward onto Tien. I wasn't sure if Tien was just going to go straight aggressive there, but it looks like it will be. That Herald play that we just talked about in this bottom side. Gala going to back away, going to respect Tien here, as he knows that there is the threat of the dive. He knows that this tower is not long for the world, but Ming moves over, and perhaps this is something that RNG can contest.
It's going to be difficult. You've got all members of top esports here, apart from Wayward, and this Herald will take this tower so damn quickly.
Here we go. Hook comes out as a trouble bubble does land from Knight. There's a bomb on top of it as well. The Herald will get the charge. Shakulov can throw the W and pop the tower. That's the combo we're talking about in top esports. Knight specifically has done such a good job to pressure these sidelines consistently throughout the series.
And that's why I love the Zoe pick. Maybe a little bit less than you do, Munch, because I know your affinity for it. But I honestly think that Knight, like having the control in mid, the ability to set up with TN, being able to rotate down to this bot side, even up towards top side so consistently, has really made this tough for RNG to find a foothold in this early game. We're looking now at a 2,500 gold lead for top esports. Jackie Love starting to ramp up, and realistically, when you look at like team fight damage, when you look at the ability to fight from afar, that favors top esports in a lot of these scenarios.
It certainly does. Leandri's finished for Jackie Love now as well, which is a pretty big spike for this Ziggs as Tien gets caught. Ming finds yet another hook, and it's a beautiful follow-up from Xiaohu. Very nicely done for RNG, just as the Drake comes live as well. This will be the second Drake for RNG and a potential win condition.
And this is something that RNG are definitely better at than top esports, is playing around the ability to use map states and trade these dragons up successfully. But Bin taking a lot of damage here from Wayward.
And Wayward's getting pretty close to turning into Mega Gnar as well. The tower's still available. The slow comes on through from Wayward. And he won't pull the trigger, but here's Jackie Love, here's Mark. The rest of the team can finish the job on this one. Flash available for Bin. Mark actually just goes for the flash straight up. A bit of a whiff, honestly, from Mark on that one, and it will be Bin getting away.
Yeah, barely able to, and it kind of looked like a sealed deal. You can see Wayward was like, grand, the cavalry's here, they've got him, but not quite able to finish that. So time wasted for top esports on this top side, but will buy space for Jackie Love to get this tower again. So keep your eyes on Jackie Love as this game goes on. He is so much in the tank.
Yeah, ultimately it's not really just about that kill, right? Just a great pick here in the jungle, but as you're saying, it's not necessarily about the kill in the top side, it's about setting Jackie Love up to take these towers. This is what we talked about when we saw the Ziggs locked in. Kill the bot tower, swap top, kill the top tower. They've got a minute for plates to the mid lane. I don't think they'll quite be able to transition that one, but still, fantastic gold lead for Jackie Love in that bottom side. It doesn't look that big on the scoreboard, but believe me, when you factor those plates in, it really is.
Now, he did share a lot of those plates with like Knight and Tien and Mark on the bot side, but basically getting those turret plates on the top side solo, like you can already see, full item completed. Nerdy got the Morello as well.
Wayward does get a slow onto them. He's about to turn Mega Gnar. Is it going to be fast enough, though? The DPS is there! And Wei finds himself a kill. And crucially, Wei finding himself some redemption after game number 4.
But it's on this Viego pick as well. Like, this has been something that top esports banned every single game against them after, or in their last series against them. It basically started with that performance that we saw in JDG's against RNG, where Wei was able to pop off in the Viego. And now we'll have to see if the lack of respect is going to come back to bite top esports, because 3-1 and 2, this Viego is getting kind of big.
Feels like both junglers are, right? Feels like both junglers in a position to be a big carry. And one of the things that... Oh, hang on. Ming gets knocked back by Jackie Love. Nice little combo from him. Can he find the ulti? He buys space for Mark to get onto the play. Slow is there. One more bomb! just wide, and Ming drops a cheeky little thumbs up, gives him a bit of wayward treatment.
Nice attempt from Mark. Oh no, wait, Jackie!
Jackie Love gets one shot. The Spring Emperor says, that's my mid lane.
Jackie Love, you may have a World Finals underneath your belt, but Xiaohu does not care. He wants to return to MSI. He wants to defend his title, and just picking off Jackie Love right off the bat.
The little tiger pounces again. Let's take another look. And that was just completely, just fires the shot, right? No CC required, just gets the snipe and turns it into a one-shot.
And look at that, 3-1-2 for Wade, 3-1-2 for Xiaohu. Mid and jungle stepping up on both sides, and it feels like everyone else on the map has to be so scared on both sides. Rift Herald available now though, and with Wei moving into the spot side jungle, Top Esports will secure another Rift Herald.
And we have to talk about the amount of zone control that both Zoe and Ziggs bring to the table for Top Esports. If they are setting up on the objective with the trouble bubbles, with the bombs, the minefields that Jackie Love will bring as well, it's so difficult to just walk in and face check.
And that's why it's going to be super hard as RNG start to go forward, right? Realistically, they do have side lane pressure with Bin, but that side lane pressure relies on you being at a somewhat even spot. Now, the fact that they have dragons will mean that they don't always have to face check them, right? They can actually play this quite slow, look to trade like this dragon that's in a minute for the top tower, with Bin having that pressure there. Maybe set up vision control for the Baron or an eventual push on towards the mid lane. So I think RNG still have options that don't revolve around fighting, as long as Wei doesn't get caught.
That was damn close for Wei, but he escapes. He's fine, he walks away with his life. 1 minute until this Drake, as we just mentioned, Top Esports looking for control here. The Herald will come down into the mid lane. Jackie, if he can get close enough, we'll be able to drop a satchel charge and finish the tower off after the Herald charge. But realistically, there is no rush. You can always step up in a moment. Not worth risking your life right before the Drake when it's Infernal Soul and RNG have two already.
Yeah, it is being, I was about to say it's being traded with Bin pushing in on the top side, but we'll spot Wayward moving up, so you'll actually have Bin back away. But now, maybe you've got the opportunity for Bin to start rotating down. Wayward does not have TP, which is why RNG are so aggressively pushing their way into this river.
We need to see Xiaohu winning this fight. He's the big carry for RNG. He's the one with the gold in his pocket. Wei alongside him on the Viego. And Knight not really showing up too much on this Zoe just yet, but maybe a pick as Ming just dodges the bubble.
Wayward just went into Mininar as well, so RNG know he's going to be exhausted for a little bit of time. Again, RNG using that pressure to buy space in river. Now with Dragon here, can you get Xiaohu with the big ult?
Bit of damage on Xiaohu, but it's not really enough for now. Bin the target instead as Top Esports look for Xiaohu once more. The bubble goes wide though, and RNG staying as a group, staying clustered, keeping themselves safe. The exhaustion has run out for Wayward though. He's close to Meganar once more.
And they have no vision here for RNG. They don't know where TN is, which is why they're playing so scared. They're trying to get the reset for Bin to come back in, but Gala now with no ult.
Yeah, Jackie Love doesn't have his ult. Knight can't follow up on that kind of range. As Tien on the dragon here, Wei wants to go for the smite. Another bubble, it's on to Xiaohu here. Opportunity, Top Esports, get themselves the Drake. It's going to be Meganar into the wall, but it's only on to Ming. That's one pick for Top Esports. Now Jax in the back line. Bin, the solo laners for RNG. Take one onto Jackie Love, and Xiaohu goes forward for more. Low on HP though, and turned around. 3v3, Gala still free firing. Tien trying to survive, but he'll be taken down by Wei. Or will he? The life's still just about not enough. Mark backs under the tower. Knight doesn't have the damage to do anything, doesn't have the mana, and RNG muscle their way forward.
The damage was done by Bin and Xiaohu, and they were still going.
Knight still has flash. He's got to stop watch.
Where
Can
do
he
you
actually
go?
survive this one? No is the answer. RNG find a bonus kill.
And that was just so clutch from RNG. Top Esports have played it so well, played it so slow, but Bin with a great TP onto the backline after getting that reset. Xiaohu finding the damage onto Jackie Love. They destroy the backline of Top Esports. Meganar only hits onto Ming here, so the damage leaders are still good to go from RNG, and Jackie Love gets left high and dry, and RNG punish.
And it feels like a rookie moment from Wayward, right? Just as Bin is flanking, he goes and starts the fight. They needed to turn on Bin. Didn't feel like Top Esports were on the same page. And then the extra kill onto the Knight at the end is, you know, Knight, you got to be the carry. You got to be the main man for Top Esports. Getting a bit greedy on this one is not a mistake that we expect Knight to make.
Yeah, uncharacteristic, and one of the few he has made. in this playoffs. One of the few he's made in this series, and it does give that extra kill, but it does stop the tower going down at the same time as well. So RNG with now a closing gold deficit, barely behind when it comes to that metric, and as well you're looking at a third dragon that's about to come up in just 3 minutes. They have looked to fight, they've won that last fight, and now we got to see if they can continue that pressure forward.
And once again, Dagda, we see Top Esports start strong, start aggressive, get themselves a big gold lead. It gets to the mid game, and they start playing a little fast and loose. They make some bad macro decisions. They make some bad engage decisions. And now the gold is almost dead even again. We've seen this tale before.
But it's so interesting to see, like, the moments how RNG have, like, changed up the script, right? Although we are still getting Top Esports with these early leads, it's Xiaohu this time who's stepping up massively, getting this carry on the Vex. We're getting Gala taking more of a backseat role in these fights to enable people like Wei on this Viego. And this was what we were looking at for Wei. This Viego pick has been so clutch for him. Early skirmishes, great. Late game team fighting, wonderful. And Wei has been benefiting so much off this pick. And Top Esports don't take it away. And now you're seeing the results.
Oh, Wayward managed to dodge away from the Shadow Surge. Stun comes out, the Maw not going to be channeled from Wei in the end. Wayward will survive.
Just trying to jostle and bustle their way into this bot side jungle, seeing if they can get some vision control down again as Top Esports will push in mid. The basically what RNG are trying to do right now is like open up space for Xiaohu to push in bot, Bin to have that presence on the top side of the map as well, where he can start to take turrets, because the two outer turrets still remaining are a big thorn in the side of RNG. If they can get those down, it becomes a lot easier to like set up vision, fish for picks with Xiaohu and Wei, like let Bin play super aggressive on the side lane, especially when he's about to finish this Triforce.
One thing I do want to mention is the 2-item spike here for both Knight and JackieLove. There's a really, really nice combo where a lot of the time, as Zoe, you throw a long-range bubble, you can't really follow it up yourself because you put yourself in harm's way. Ziggs can, and you can perfectly land the sweet spot of the Ziggs ultimate. And with a bubble, the damage is insane. That Leandries will finish a target off. Any of these squishy targets gets hit by a bubble, they might just die on the spot.
But again, that's why we're kind of looking at Wayward going, hey, look, 1 and 3. He's the other big AD damage dealer alongside TN. So you can start to work at Hex Drinker for Gala. Force of Nature already completed for Wei. Wouldn't be surprised to see a similar story coming through for people like Xiaohu with the Banshee's Veil. Yeah. Like, it feels like there's answers that really shut down the two carries of Knight and JackieLove, the two players that Top Esports has been built around.
Certainly could be itemization answers as the bubble does come out through onto Ming, but with the Merc Dreads, not really the ideal target. As you say, there are ways to counter this playstyle. As mid-prio is one thing this team can do very well at from Top Esports. They have plenty of AoE. Oh, it's a bubble on Xiaohu. He doesn't have the mercs. There's the bomb. It's almost all of his HP. Low now as the rest of the team tries to follow up. Top Esports have found an opportunity. Damage across the team here. Ming trying to escape. The stun's coming on in. Sonic Wave is there, but Tien doesn't follow. It's enough to buy space and buy a dragon for Top Esports.
Bane instantly TP'd to the bot side, though. He's looking for the tier 2 tower. Now he's kind of caught in no man's land as Top Esports can fall back, getting Dragon and getting the play. So now RNG TP to the top side. They're just trying to play a ring around the rosy all over Summoner's Rift.
They're trying to, but Knight is moving on up, and I don't think Xiaohu can stick around here, even with Ming off in the wings. It is going to be the tower protected by Knight. Even has a flash if you would need it. And we'll actually go for that one. Just, it times out. Has a Shurelius for the next fight as well. And Dagda, oh, I'm loving this. Once again, we're getting through the mid-game, and the teams are dead even. It's only 300 gold between them, 2 Drakes apiece. 2 of them being Infernal Drakes as well, which is massive for Top Esports. With the amount of burst damage that they already have, it synergizes so well.
Yeah, just the poke as well from like the Ziggs, from the Zoe, the combo that nearly caught out Xiaohu. Like, you can see how difficult it is to deal with. Even looking at Xiaohu, right, picking up the stopwatch, knowing that he's kind of counting his lucky stars, that he hasn't been caught out of position thus far. Still, though, it feels like it's only a matter of time. It feels like this game is at a breaking point, and one mistake could swing it either side, especially with Baron now up in the cards. A third dragon on the way for both of these teams. And Xiaohu and Bin were setting up like old school RNG, the RNG that won MSI. Push inside, work around the map, try to play smarter League of Legends, try and punish Top Esports who aren't certain about how they want to approach a mid-game.
wave clear for the time being, as you see Xiaohu moving over as well. And Baron is on the map, Dagda, and that makes me nervous for both of these teams. Because we've seen they're willing to go for a 50-50. It's not something that's advisable. It's something we've seen in other finals of other major regions. It's something we've seen in this final of this major region. It's not something I'll ever prescribe, but this is a play I'll prescribe. Has been trying to find a solo kill onto Wayward. He's nowhere near Meganar. He's trying to escape. He's trying to get the slows. The rest of Top Esports going onto the Baron in the meantime. Bin doesn't have TP, and Wei's on the wrong side of the map. This has to be a hero play from Gala, Ming, and Xiaohu if they want to contest the Baron.
They've stalled it.
They're stalling for the time being. I don't know if Top Esports are really committing hard enough for this one, because Wei, is already in the mid lane on this one. Bubble going to go slightly wide. Knight actually stuck on the wrong side, but has a blast cone. Very nicely done from RNG to buy space, and now look at Bin in the bottom lane.
You don't have the damage on Top Esports to do this fast. Now Jackie Love gets caught.
He's caught. The Shadow Surge goes wide, but it don't matter. Goodbye, Ziggs. Goodbye, Jackie Love.
No.
Goodbye, hopes and dreams, Top Esports. Bin pushing in the bottom side, and RNG still win top.
You had to say the B word. You had to say the Baron word. And Top Esports, this is the third time they've made major errors in their series at this Baron, and now you don't have the damage as Top Esports to clear it. RNG come across, you lose the fight, you lose your bot lane tower, and what was dangling so close on a knife's edge has swung in favor of RNG.
Top Esports fans everywhere are going to be waking up in a cold sweat with visions of Baron. They're going to be having nightmares for weeks off the back of this series, because Top Esports just don't seem to be able to figure out how the Purple Worm works. It's not worked out for them time and time again. And just look at the scoreboard, right? We were talking about Knight being the carry, having his signature pick. It ain't happening. It's Xiaohu once again on this Vex, popping off. It's Wei having an amazing game on the Viego. It's Bin having pure side lane presence and knowing how to play that top lane.
Now, though, you're starting to see again, Bin, Force of Nature, Wei, Force of Nature. We're actually not getting the Banshee Veil coming out early from Xiaohu. He's going for raw damage, going to try and rely on that stopwatch to set up this fight, because it does feel like one fight still can close this game out. Knight with the longest of bubbles.
Oh my days.
And there you can see, Xiaohu, why you probably need to pick up this Banshee's Veil. But that combo is now down with a minute until the Dragon. Top Esports are trying to force priority mid so they can fall back towards the next Dragon. But Xiaohu will be on the map. You can still contest. It feels like a second too early here for Top Esports.
And with this Dragon coming up, we have to revisit the gold, right? 4,000 gold lead for RNG. And it felt like Knight and the rest of Top Esports had control in the early game, but that control has waned. Now it feels like RNG are the ones that can force their way into River.
Mark off on the side, though, gets spotted. He's completely out of position.
Mark in completely the wrong spot here. He is tanky, surviving for a while. Maybe he's bought space as Wayward trades it. Ming goes down as well. Bubble is going to land on Xiaohu. That's massive from Knight, but the rest of the team can't follow up.
Xiaohu
gets the Shadow Surge. There goes Wayward, and RNG just keep on making it happen. They make the impossible possible. They won the first two games. They lose two in a row, but it was all just a prank.
The Disney movie does not always come through. The miracle run does not always happen, but a repeat at MSI feels inevitable for RNG. Baron is started. Knight has Smite. He has it from the spell book. Knight, the hero of Top Esports. Can he do it again?
I don't think he can, not with that TP there from Bin. Jax is not something that Zoe's willing to go for a 1v1 against. Has his flash available. Is he going to make the play? Jumps. Oh, he doesn't quite get into the pit. Whiffs the flash. And that means it's Baron for RNG. That was Knight's moment. And he fumbles it.
That was so close, though. A hero play just put short. And Mark, I mean, what are you doing, lad? Like, why are you in this position? And now, actually, we're seeing another pick in the picture-in-picture.
I'm not going to lie, Dagda, I can't see what's happening in the picture-in-picture. There's too many pixels for me on that one. There's a great pick up there from Xiaohu during the fight off the Shadow Surge. We're looking for the Drake. This will be third on either side. Knight going for Xiaohu. That's a great bubble, but Xiaohu's already fit the entire team. The bomb's coming on through. Is there damage from Top Esports? I don't think so. Bin with a double kill as Wayward has to flee. Way with another one on the scoreboard, and Bin chasing them down. The bomb's coming through, and that will be Drake for RNG.
And just like everyone wishing we could go back to 2020, Top Esports wish that they had gotten their moment, that they had managed to find that spring success once more, but that's not the case. That's not what's happening. RNG have shut it out. Dragon in favor of RNG, the fight in favor of RNG, and it feels like the door is closing on this Top Esports story.
And it feels like RNG are playing with confidence the way they're forcing these engages. Top Esports running out of rope on this one. They're not sure. They're not quite making the right decisions. And we've seen this before, Dagda. We saw it in 2018. We saw it in 2021. And RNG won the dots on 2022 as well. They want to go back to MSI.
And that's it. Like, this has been an uphill battle for Top Esports. Not only when you look historically at how the playoffs have gone against RNG, but even the amount of games they had to play. It's a miracle that they got to this position, that a team that was strived with all these issues could still manage to put together this squad and hit the finals. But at that last hurdle, they're fumbling once more. RNG, Baron in hand, pushing into the base, and it feels like it's RNG who now firmly in control, starting to move up towards this top inhibitor turret.
Wayward playing with fire on that one, almost gets hooked by Ming, and Ming has been on point, aside from the one time where he got caught out of this game, but generally speaking, on point. 20-10 on the scoreboard, 9,000 gold lead, and just pure control, and a great composition to be able to force your advantage here for RNG as well.
The ability to dive, the ability to set up beautifully. Zonya's Hourglass completed for Xiaohu. He can play with wild abandon as he looks for Top Esports. But can Top Esports defend?
Feels like this is a reverse of what we've seen so many times. Top Esports throwing on the Baron pushes. If Mojo exists, we need to see it now. Now is the moment, Top Esports. Now is the time to prove that you deserve your finals.
Wayward, though, whiffing on the ult right as you say that, means that it probably is running on empty. It's been a mojo-filled run for them to get here, but it hasn't gotten them across the finish line. RNG now backing away, moving down to this bot side, filling up this bot side jungle with wards, with the next dragon going to be in their eyes.
And it's a bit of a heartbreaker, really, isn't it, for Top Esports, when you consider how this game started. Like, if you've just tuned in, if you've missed this entire series, first of all, where have you been? What have you been doing? But second of all, like, this game started with domination from Top Esports, winning both sides of the map. The 2v2 in the bottom lane with Tien getting involved, Wayward doing well in the top side as well. Like, it felt so good. It felt like they had control. But then in the mid-game, once again, RNG, they just seem to have this ability to punish everything Top Esports try and do.
Top Esports are still a threat, though. Like, when you look at the ability for Knight and Jackie Love, that combo to land onto key targets, there is always that opportunity for it to come back, but it's just that window is closing more and more. Zonya's for Xiaohu, Maul Mortius for Gala. We already talked about Force of Nature's pretty much across the board. Even Zonya's Hourglass for Ming as well. So the targets for this combo are getting less and less. Wayward hasn't been able to find the damage that he needs to be the AD carry. And now Top left with a dwindling vision on the map.
And I have to just say, you know, I think it's well known that I'm a big fan of Top Esports myself, but I'm also a big fan of Suning. And, you know, Bin, he made his name. He cut his teeth on Suning.
You don't get to jump ship now.
No, I'm not jumping ship. I'm just saying it feels so good to see Bin having such a great performance in the side lane, right? Like, in game number 4 and 5, his side lane presence has been so difficult for Top Esports to deal with. Sure, they didn't win game number 4, but Bin was one of the standout players, managed to get those towers, managed to get the bounties on the tier 2s. And here on the Jacks, on a signature pick, 5-1 and 5. Feels so good to see him on the cusp of finally getting himself an LPL trophy.
Yeah, I mean, especially after going to the World Champions, you said, like, this is the first time we've seen him in an LPL finals. He'd had, until today, a higher placing in Worlds than he's had in LPL.
I mean, until today, he was living proof that LPL's harder than Worlds.
True. So we'll have to see now how things will fare for him if RNG can close this one out, but it just feels so incredibly close. And for an RNG to go back to Worlds to MSI, for an RNG to like go back up against some of the LCK powerhouses that we've seen, like Damwon, favorites at MSI last year, now an undefeated T1 waiting for them at MSI. Both these teams wanting to try and prove themselves against those powerhouses, but only one of them will get to, and I'm excited to see how those ones are going to pan out.
I feel like we're stalling out here. I feel like the teams can feel the pressure of what's going on here, of being in the right position to punish. They were just waiting. RNG, such an intelligent team. They don't do anything stupid. They don't overforce for the sake of it. Playing for the Dragon. Can Leandris make it happen? I don't know. There's no smite. Okay, there we go. Xiaohu bursts it. That's Infernal Soul here for RNG.
I like the way both of us took a steady breath as we saw Jackie Love going with that ultimate. But it is going to be the Dragon going across. It's still lanes pushed in galore. RNG will control the map, and now with that Infernal Dragon Soul, it's really tough. Like, it's been a slow-paced game here from RNG because, as you say, they know what's on the line. They know how close they are, but they're also under no real pressure to push this game faster than they need to.
Exactly. They can play this as slow as they need to, but like, you thought they were good at diving before. Try it with Infernal Soul. Like, when Xiaohu gets into the backline and fears everyone with 1W, when Wei then gets the resets and pops off in the fight, like, it's only getting worse for Top Esports. They need some kind of miracle pick, but RNG won't let that happen. Constantly grouped, constantly working as a unit, so nobody can be picked out.
It's so hard for Top Esports to like make things happen though, because I mean, when you look at like the way they just don't have consistent damage, right? Yeah. Like all of it is super burst heavy. You have a ton of answers to that burst. And Mark forced to flash away here as Knight trying to see if he can get that poke down, but it's not really hitting.
Jackie-Love going to hold the ulti just because the shield was there from Xiaohu, so won't find much off of the bubble here. And it feels like that's been the story of this game, right? Almost finding something, but not quite able to follow it up. Baron started by RNG. Tien over the wall. Are they just going to 50-50 this one? Tien could try and make the miracle happen. Here we go onto the backline. Shadow Surge lands onto Jackie-Love, and Xiaohu does it again. What can he not do? Flashes the wall and turns golden. The bubble will land onto Xiaohu, but it's only going to buy a little bit of space. Tien and Knight trying to escape, trying to survive. A TP coming through as Xiaohu wants to line him up and wants to finish the job. Knight will fall to Wei. 9-1-6 on the Viego. And Dagda, I think that might be it. I think the Emperors of Spring are going to repeat history. The more things change, the more they stay the same. New faces, a new style, but once more, Royal never give up are your LPL Spring 2022 champions.
And what a way to finish things out. The Emperor of Spring himself showing once more why he's considered the best Vex in the league. What he can do when given the opportunity, and RNG will get to defend their title at MSI.
Unbelievable playoffs here from RNG. The run, managing to make it through the upper bracket last time around. They had to go the long way. They had to go through that lower bracket. This time around, none of that nonsense. This time around, they go through the upper bracket and they win a full 5-game series against Top Esports on the cusp of being reverse swept, no less. But you can see the joy on their faces. Another trophy for Royal Never Give Up.
Surprised by the explosion there, but look, I have to say for RNG, it was hard fought, it was not easy. You can see the Top Esports exploited a lot of the weaknesses that we know exist in RNG, but being able to fight against those demons, fight into the later portion of the game, and claw things back against Top Esports. RNG rightfully deserved to represent the LPL at MSI.
Absolutely beautiful stuff to see. RNG taking the Silver Dragon home once again. And shout out to our production managing to make something happen. Obviously, with COVID going on, the players having to play from home, but still, LPL production over in China smurfing and giving us a good show.
I mean, look, it's good to see everyone kind of pitching in together. And look, I mean, it was a cracker of a finals, all 5 games coming through, and I gotta say, I mean, look, for Top Esports, it's heartbreaking, like to see them come so close